It is now my pleasure, Mama, and honor to invite you to address the nation and release the 2017 results. Mama, you are welcome.
Honorable Ministers of State for Education, the Chairperson and members of Parliament, Parliamentary Committee on Education and Sports, the PS for the Ministry of Education, the Chairperson UNEB, Executive Secretary UNEB, senior members of staff from the Ministry of Education and Sports, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased once again to release the results of the 2017 primary living examination, which was done on the 2nd and 3rd November 2017. I'd like to thank the Chairperson and the Board, the Executive Secretary and staff of UNEB for the very hard work they have put in to ensure that the results are being released on the same day, despite the increase in candidature, which would mean more work in marking the scripts and processing the results. I'm aware of the increasing use of technology by UNEB in its operations, which explains the increase in their efficiency in as far as timely release of results is concerned. I'd like from the very outset to pay tribute to the teachers, if there may be any here or listening, whose efforts in completing the marking on time contributed to this early release of results, which always allows the ministry to plan for early selection to enable the students joining Senior 1 to do so in good time. I wish to applaud the efforts of the parents now in educating the girls. For the 3rd year now running, the number of girls registering and sitting for the examination has been higher than that of boys, as you've heard from all of us. Notwithstanding the fact that we must continue to invest all our energies in ensuring that both girls and boys attend and complete school, it is undisputable fact that educating the girls lays an even firmer foundation for our development. Educating the women definitely translates into the transforming of future families for our nation. And certainly, we need to continue this struggle to also ensure that along with the improvement of numbers, we will also get the quality performance of these girls at school. I have noted that the rate of increase in candidature has reduced from over 3% to just under 1%. And I have also noted that there were negative variances from more than half of the districts. UNEB tried to find out the reasons for this, as you heard, and what has come out from some districts is unacceptable. The practice of placing hurdles before these young learners in the form of pre-registration, which you've just heard, tests which increases dropouts and should stop. This must stop. It should stop immediately. There should be no pre-registration tests or exams within both the public and private schools. Districts instead must put in place mechanisms to ensure effective teaching throughout the primary education cycle in order to achieve good PLE results. Districts such as Arua, Moyo, and Adjumani, which host large numbers of refugees, have had very significant increases in the numbers of candidates registering. The NRM government has one of the best policies in the world towards refugees, as I'm sure all Ugandans now know. This massive increase in candidature is one testimony that refugees are enabled to access education and other social services without any discrimination in our country. I have noted with satisfaction, one, improved performance in social studies and science. However, the mathematics and English subjects, which are very critical and essential skills of numeracy and literacy, have shown a decline. Now, while performance in mathematics indicates that more learners got the minimum pass at grade 8, the desired quality passes have declined. From the brief I have received from UNEP, this decline is a result of failure by candidates to handle questions with practical applications, and you heard Mr. Odong give examples here. In other words, questions that relate their math learning in class with life experiences, which is necessary if education is supposed to be meaningful. The teaching appears to be theoretical and emphasizes drilling of candidates. Teachers must therefore refocus the methods of teaching to ensure that learners are able to apply knowledge to their real life surroundings. These are the skills our children need in the 21st century, and they must be acquired at school. And improvement in the overall pass level with a reduced failure rate. This means a higher transition rate with more learners moving to the next level of education, thereby reducing wastage. I'm aware that the ministry has, through a number of initiatives, made effort to support performance improvement, targeting particularly those deserving districts. Some of these initiatives include the Global Partnership for Education, GPE project, which through the Teachers' Presence and Time on Task initiative aims to curb teacher absenteeism, especially within a number of districts in eastern Uganda and the 27 GPE beneficiary districts. Now, the Quality Enhancement Initiative, which targets a number of 21 of the underperforming districts, and C, the lower primary or early grade program, as it is commonly known, implemented in partnership with School Health and Reading Program, the Literacy, Achievement and Retention Activity, which together target a number of districts, and D, through intensified school monitoring, initially covering the districts of Kiboga, of Queen, Luuka, Kapchorwa, Sembabule, Kalungu, Kabalole, Rukunjiri, Mbarara, Kamuli, Hoima, and Bukedea. Meetings and workshops have been organized with the district education officers and inspectors of schools as well, as head teachers and teachers to address impediments to delivery of quality education. 17 head teacher dialogues have also been held in the districts of Luuka, Kiboga, Kabalole, Kamuli, Buvuma, Kalangala, Sembabule, Mubende, Napak, Nakapiripirit, Moroto, Amdat, Kotido, Abim, Kabong, Oyam, and Lira. These are districts that are not doing well. And so all this is an effort that has been put together to help bring up these districts by the ministry. Most district education officers have been provided means of transport, in addition to 75 motorcycles for some inspectors of schools, in order to intensify effective supervision and monitoring of education service delivery. But I'm not happy with reports to the effect that some district leaders, especially, or with the permission of the chief administrative officers, have instead diverted these means of transport to other unrelated programs. Now, we are contemplating, therefore, a number of measures to mitigate this challenge, including giving them a unique color of vehicles to enable quick detection of abuse of these vehicles so that they can do what they are meant to do. However, given the enormity of the task at hand, all these interventions are still too few to translate into immediate improvement in performance either of the primary subsector in its entirety or that of individual schools and learners. We can and will continue to strive to do better. I take very serious note now and condemn examination malpractices. As you have heard from my colleagues, the fact that nearly all perpetrators are classroom teachers whose duty is to instill morals within our children, but are instead the ones teaching them that it is okay to cheat, threatens the very core of the moral fabric of our society and the work we're really trying to do here. We will therefore ostracize such teachers or their associates by publicly naming and shaming or even deregistering them so that we can stop this malpractice forthwith. I agree completely with the board chairperson that examination malpractice is a serious threat to our national security and the credibility of our education system. Its prevalence will reduce our competitiveness globally and compromise the quality of our human resources, which is the most important ingredient in national development. I have already caused the draft repeal of the UNEB Act to be put on the Cabinet agenda, and a new law will hopefully soon be in place. The new law should, among other things, enable UNEB and the ministry to apply appropriate and/or deterrent sanctions to those schools and individuals that engage in examination malpractices. I will also ensure adequate support to UNEB to, among other things, increase the level of security at all stages of the conduct of the examinations. Indeed, this matter is not a UNEB matter alone, but it is a concern and should be of every citizen of this country. Now, when UNEB has conducted its full investigations and given hearing to the affected candidates, chief administrative officers from districts where this vice has been prominent must take firm disciplinary action on those teachers found culpable. Through the Directorate of Education Standards, which is responsible for quality assurance, I will also expect periodic feedback reports on the nature of disciplinary action preferred against the perpetrators of this vice in order that we completely stamp it out and from our society. I must, however, applaud those districts which had featured prominently on the 2016 list but were reported to have taken firm action. They have not appeared this year, and I pray that they will stay away from that list. We have agreed to put in place a more objective mechanism of monitoring and recognizing individual district and school performance improvement. Districts that may be listed amongst those with the highest failure rate may demonstrate noticeable improvement in teacher presence, in children attendance, increased supervision, and candidate performance, which should still be recognized as making a good effort. This points out that the fact that they are not exactly where they want to be, but at least they have moved from where they used to be. Towards this same end, I'd like to remind all concerned that globally, education is a partnership which requires that we all play a part in securing the future of our children and our country. Therefore, I call upon all political and other leaders, local government authorities, and the technical officers, all our partners in education service delivery, especially the faith-based institutions, head teachers and teachers, as well as the parents, and indeed our own children, each to play their part in promoting effective teaching and learning in a school so that we can transform our education. Members of Parliament especially, and indeed all other major stakeholders, should interest themselves in visiting schools within their areas to inspect, encourage, support, and ensure quality education service delivery in their constituencies, and also to share their findings at the next convenient level of reporting, right from the local to central government level. I thank the police and other security agencies that assisted UNEP in the conduct of the examination. I congratulate the candidates themselves who have done well, the teachers who prepared them, and the parents who supported them. The Senior 1 selection exercise will be conducted at the Uma Showgrounds from 24th to 25th January 2018. It is now my pleasure to release the results of the 2017 PLE to the nation for official use. And I must thank all of you for being here and for listening to me, and I wish you a very happy new year.
Thank you very much, Mama, the Minister of Education and Sports. This now brings us to the end of this function.